Another important concept in limits at infinity is horizontal asymptote. So we say that the line y equals L is a horizontal asymptote of the graph y equals f of x if the limit of f of x as x approaches positive infinity is equal to L, or the limit of f of x as x approaches negative infinity is equal to L. It is important to note that yung horizontal asymptote natin, pinapakita lang niya kung ano yung end behavior nung function natin as x increases or decreases without bound. And pwede na i-cross niya yung function natin, i-cross niya yung horizontal asymptote. Okay? So, hindi katulad nung sinasabi natin na the graph doesn't touch or intersect the asymptote, parang ganon, 'di ba? Pero dito, yung horizontal asymptote, pwede siyang i-touch nung graph. Example ay itong function na ito. So, kita nyo naman na ang horizontal asymptotes niya ay y equals negative 1 at y equals 1. Pero doon sa baba, na-touch niya yung y equals negative 1. At, diba, at some point, merong isang point doon. Yun. Basta ang sinasabi lang ng horizontal asymptote natin, eto yung pupuntahan ng graph natin as x increases or decreases without bound. Now, let's take a look at this example. F of x equals the square root of 9x squared plus 1 over 3x minus 1. So, tignan natin, ano nga ba yung horizontal asymptotes? Or kung meron bang horizontal asymptotes itong graph na ito? So, graphically, pwede nating tignan yung graph niya at makikita na natin doon alin yung horizontal asymptote. Pero paano kapag gusto natin siyang i-check analytically? Okay? Wala tayong graph. Ito lang. Paano natin titignan? So, going back to the definition, kailangan daw tignan natin yung x approaches negative infinity at x approaches positive infinity na limit niya. Okay? So, we have, una, check natin, limit of f of x as x approaches positive infinity. Tapos, i-check din natin if the limit of f of x as x approaches negative infinity. Dapat magkaroon tayo ng L. Okay? Which means magkaroon tayo ng number na sagot. Dapat dito at dito. At whatever man yung number na sagot or yung L na sagot natin, yun yung horizontal asymptote nung f of x natin. So let's first determine kung meron ba siyang horizontal asymptote dito sa first part as x approaches positive infinity. Okay? So what shall we do? Since ito is equal to infinity over infinity, which is an indeterminate form, so we multiply now 1 over square root of x squared over 1 over square root of x squared. Note that square root of x squared is equal to x kasi positive infinity yung ating kinukuha. So we now have the limit of, okay, pasok natin to, square root of 9 plus 1 over x divided by, so since 3x minus 1, so since 1 over x squared is 1 over x, okay, so we have 3 minus 1 over x as x approaches positive infinity. By substitution, that is, alam na natin, 0 na yung dalawang yan. So, square root of 9 over 3 or 3 over 3 equal to 1. Therefore, the limit of the function as x approaches positive infinity is equal to 1. Which tells us that, by definition, y equals 1 is a horizontal asymptote. Okay? So, meron na tayong y plus 1. So, meron na tayong y equals 1. Okay? Now, check naman natin yung negative part. So, since negative infinity ito, mag-multiply tayo ng 1 over square root of x squared over 1 over x square root of x squared, where square root of x squared is equal to negative x. Okay? So, we now have the limit of, okay, ipasok natin sa loob, we have square root of 9 plus 1 over x divided by, okay, negative x siya, so 3 negative 3 plus, so negative x ito, so this becomes 1 over negative x. So we have negative 3 plus 1 over x as x approaches negative infinity. By direct substitution, that is equal to 9. Siyempre, sure na tayo, 0 yan. Over negative 3, or that is 3 over negative 3, negative 1. Therefore, the limit of the function as x approaches negative infinity is equal to negative 1. Which tells us that y equals negative 1 is also a horizontal asymptote of this function. Therefore, we conclude that what are the horizontal asymptotes of this? We have first y equals 1 and y equals negative 1 are horizontal asymptotes of f of x. Now, let's determine kung meron bang horizontal asymptote itong g of x natin, which is equal to the square root of 4x squared minus 5x plus 2x. So, anong gagawin? We will check what happens when x approaches positive infinity and also when x approaches negative infinity. So, let's check first the x approaches positive infinity. So, what will we do? So, since hindi naman siya rational, so mag-multiply muna tayo dito ng conjugate. So, we have 4x squared minus 5x minus 2x over square root of 4x squared minus 5x minus 2x. So, this becomes now the limit of 4x squared minus 5x minus 4x squared over the square root of 4x squared minus 5x minus 2x as x approaches positive infinity. Observe na yung numerator natin, pwede nating tanggalin to. Okay, so this becomes now negative 5x. Okay, now we can multiply 1 over square root of x squared over 1 over square root of x squared. Note that square root of x squared is equal to x. Kasi nga, x approaches positive infinity. So, we now have the limit of negative 5 over, okay, pasok natin sa loob, square root of 4 minus 5 over x, okay, minus 2 as x approaches positive infinity. Or that is now equal to negative 5 over square root of 4 minus 2 or negative 5 over 0. Okay, alam natin na undefined to, which means that wala siyang horizontal asymptote. Okay? So, wala siyang horizontal asymptote sa part na yan. How about doon sa negative infinity? Okay, let's check dun sa kabila when x approaches negative infinity. So, again, we multiply the conjugate. Okay? And then, eto na siya. We multiply 1 over square root of x squared over 1 over square root of x squared, where square root of x squared is equal to negative x. Kasi nga, negative infinity na yung ina-approach natin. So, this becomes now the limit of 5, tama, over the square root of 4 minus 5 over x. Okay? Plus 2. Plus 2 na siya kasi kapag tinignan nyo, we have negative 2x times 1 over negative x. Diba? 1 over negative x yan. Kaya magiging positive 2. So, by direct substitution, we now have 5 over square root of 4 plus 2, or that is now equal to 5 over 2 plus 2, 5 over 4. So, what does that mean? Ibig sabihin, y equals 5 over 4 is a horizontal asymptote of this. So, we have shown that y equals 5 over 4 is a horizontal asymptote of g of x.